Greetings Space Cadets and welcome back for another Minecraft survival episode. We're now on episode 20 of this survival series. As you can see, we are just on the outskirts of our base, just across the stream from our main base. You can see our conduit fountain there in the distance, our main tower and our super tower that we built up to build limit. But we are over just across here because I found a second skeleton spawner. There is another skeleton spawner just over there, but it's quite deep. But this one I found is right next to our base and it is really close to the surface. So I've marked this little X here where it is because today we're going to build a skeleton spawner. It's quite easy to get to. We just simply hop down here, follow the pathway down here, and here it is, our skeleton spawner. Now I've lit up this quite a bit here. We're going to convert this into a dropping one, so we're going to collect them all down at the bottom. I've figured out a way to raise the mobs, because raising mobs now since the aquatic update has been a nightmare. But I looked at a few different designs online. Unfortunately none of them worked in the Bedrock edition, so I had to make my own little modifications to it, and it works every time now. But we're going to get to that once we build up our mob farm here, because what we're going to have is, this is going to go straight up. Once we get them out, they're going to go up, they're going to cross, and then they're going to drop down, and they're going to drop down one short of killing them. And we're going to have a switch with a piston so that we can choose either if we want the XP from hacking them, or if we want to just let them drop and we get the bones for the bone meal, because we want to build a tree farm, but there's no point in building a tree farm if we don't have the bone meal to support it, which is why we're so lucky to find a skeleton spawner this close to the surface. So you can see the sky from here. This is how close we are to the surface, which is far better than the other one, which is, I think the other spawner is down at 16. And what level are we on here for this? Level 50. That's even better. That keeps it to straight numbers for when we're building up. But I'll show you what we've got here in the box for our build today. Now, I've got 4 buckets of water. I could just make an infinite. I probably will just make an infinite water source down here, but we only need 4 for this to work. 2 for the to push them into the corner. I need 1 to transport them across the top, and another 1 just for the soul sand elevator. Because on the Bedrock edition, we don't have to make them all source blocks. The soul sand will turn them into source blocks for us, so we only have to use 1 bucket. We're going to have a little item sorter as well, and a disposal system, which is what the lava's for. We've got loads of signs, because you're going to need lots of signs for this build. I'm going to use glass. You don't necessarily need to use glass. The reason I'm going to use it is just so that I can demonstrate the water elevator that works in the Aquatics update on the Bedrock edition. And then I've got a whole load of building blocks, because we're going to have to build a little bit on the surface in order to drop them across to where we need them, and some slabs as well, just for decoration. You don't necessarily need the ladders. I've just got them because it's going to be, going up and down a few times in places. It's just going to be easy to have them as temporary construction blocks. And I've got a whole load of pickaxes. This one up here though is separate. I've kept the silk touch one handy just so that we can pick up again any glass if I put them in the wrong place. But anyway, let's take a few of these pickaxes. Actually, let's get rid of this rotten flesh because the zombie attacked us just as I was starting to film. So let's hop this out here, and I'm going to do a little bit of this here with you, and then I will cut to having the chasm all built out, because we want to get the right sizes in first. So what we want to do is, this is our center point, and we are going to build 4 out. So that is that right? So I use torches just to map it out. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be our distance in that direction. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to leave this free gap above here. We will, once we're finished, we're going to block that off just with a little tower so that nothing spawns on top. We have to be careful as well here, because I know that behind this wall there is just a pocket of water. I can't hear anything. Actually, can we? No, we can't hear anything, because I've had a massive problem with some zombie infestations or drowned infestations in the past couple of days. My what's it called? The slime farm. It wasn't producing a single thing. and I went exploring around and I found a pocket. In fact, take a look at this footage here. This was after I had accidentally opened it whilst caving for redstone. They just exploded out everywhere. The entire cave was filled with hundreds. This is just a small section of where they all pooled down to. But there was loads of drowns, so check your area, light up all your caves, because these guys, they just fell down from a little bit that had blown up next to the river down into one of these caves, and hundreds of them have been accumulated. It took around an hour to clear out everything. But anyway, back to the build here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, and 4. So that is going to be the size of our cavern. So this bit here represents the wall that will be around the outside of it, the same as over here. Our mobs are going to be going this direction, but you can see there we've got so that 4x4 gap will give us the spawning area that we need. We are also going to take it, how many did I count down? Yep, 4 down as well. So I've did a creative copy of this just so we can get the materials ready. Now, is that the right depth? 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is going to be the depth of our cavern that we're going to build here. So let's just pop up here. So I think you get the basic idea of what we're going to build here. Join me in a couple of minutes. We will jump cut and I will have all of this cave dug out. Okay everybody, we have now finished the excavation. I had to make a slight adjustment though, so I'd miscalculated. It's that you have the 4 coming off these 3 sides, but make this one 5, just for the water stream that we're going to have here. You don't necessarily need to, I just chose to because of the way that I've laid out our system. What you see here is we had our 4 coming down, and then we have at an angle taken another layer out, and you'll see as well we've got this cobblestone here. This cobblestone here is simply just waiting to be taken out because of the water streams. You see at the minute the water is at its limit of how far it can go. If we just put our second bucket, pop that in the corner there, and you'll see we get flowed down to here. And what I'm going to show you now is the next stage, because I hope I've dug out everything that we need, is I'm going to show you how to get mobs to move up in after the aquatics update. This is the way that works. For me it's worked every single time, and it allows you to get them up there without damaging them as well. You'll see as well I've excavated all the way to the top, and whilst I was building I had to put the signs in as well. So when it comes along, when you have your mobs come along, you want to have a 2 gap, and your water flow is going to be up there, and this is going to be an air pocket, and you need this to get them all the way up to the top. And what see as well there, I've put these, there's a little house up the top there. In fact, we'll nip up to the surface, we'll just hop out of here. I hope I've dug out some of these sections to the right size. You see this is where the mobs are going to shoot up. This space here is just for a little bit of redstone. This is going to be our kill zone. So if I just come here, everything is going to come down here, and it'll either be killed, or if we flick a switch that's going to go there, it will just kill them straight away, or when we flick the switch it will allow us to kill them, so we get a little bit of XP out of it. Now this room here is a bit of a complicated one because I'm not quite sure of the size. We may have to dig out another section because this is where we're going to have a little item sorter and a storage area and a waste disposal area, because if we're killing them ourselves we'll get bows, and honestly we don't want bows. They're not really any use to us, so we're going to have those drop into lava, but we do want to keep, we might as well keep the arrows, and we definitely want to keep all the bone, which is the whole purpose of it. But I'll just show you down here as well. This is at the base of the... In fact, we might as well build this while we're here before we go up to the top of the tower, since we're down here. This is where the mobs are going to come down, and they're going to land on this pressure plate here, and we need to get them over there. So if we just take our sticky pistons out, this is going to be awkward. Can I place that there? No, I can't. Nope. Yep, there we go, we got it. And then I will take 2 of these, and And there we go. So anyone that now lands on that pressure plate is going to get pushed out. And what you'll see as well is the water won't be able to go where that block is there. But, well, can you see them? No, you can't see them from this angle, but we've got the signposts that are on this side. You can just see one there, and that will stop the water from flowing that way, except for this block here, which will become a water flowing block. So they'll come down here, they'll be slowed in the water, they'll tap that, that will shove them, and they will get launched up to the top. So now let's go up to the top. So let's hop out here. I'll probably, once we've got everything in place and I know the size of it, we'll make a proper entrance way to this. This is just a temporary one, just to see us for now. Let's get the sword out because it's night, and I haven't got the resources right now here to build a gate. And ooh, what was that? Oh, I think it was just a cow. That was it. I thought we were under attack again there. You see here we have this little looping tower. Just hop away over here. So there you go, see we've got this little looping tower, and in case we want this to work through the day, I've had to put a roof over it because the skeletons will get hurt. Actually, whilst we're up here, we might as well put the water in. So I've used glass on this side just so we can see it. You don't have to use glass if you want, you can put anything you want in there. This side I use stone just because that's what I brought with us. And oops, starting to rain. So let's hop up here, and you'll see here at the top, so this is our tower, this is where the water is going to be, and this here is where the air is going to be as well. And you'll see there we've got the signs going all the way down. Then to bring them across, you can bring them across really as far as you want. I'm just trying to keep mine nice and tight so that I can be right next to the spawner, so they'll keep spawning. And we've put a little bit of a height here as well, just so that they can't get up to us. They shouldn't be able to jump up and jump out. Otherwise, if they could, they would just go running off down there and get in the way of everything. So let's just pop some of this stuff away and get my 2 water buckets. I don't think I actually need 2 water buckets, but well, we'll see what happens. Now, has that worked? If we slide across there. Yep, so that has gone all the way down. Give that a moment to hit to the bottom. And this should convert, he says. Waiting for it to pop. But we'll keep an eye on that for a moment and see what happens. But you'll see here the water stream as well will push everything across here, and then the skeletons will drop down there because the skeletons don't float. That still hasn't connected. Probably have to go down there and see what's going on with that. But what will happen anyway is they'll get pushed along here and then they will drop down. So let's now go downstairs and put in the rest of our systems. Okay, for the next section we're going to put the system in that's going to allow us to either kill the mobs or to allow them just to die when they drop. So we need it's going to be just a case of just removing one block back and forth, and we're going to use a little, pop that there. Actually, did I bring enough blocks with us? Yes, we did. Actually, we'll get rid of that lever first. We'll pop a lever on here because that's what we're going to use to choose when our system's going to come on and off, depending on what we want to do. So we're going to run a little stream along there, put that down there and into that block because we need to invert a signal, and gather up a little bit of redstone and put that in there. So yep, so now we've got that there, and we're going to drop that block on top of there. And what I'll do is just temporarily until we get the storage system in, because we might as well fire up this as soon as we can, and then we can build the storage system while it's working. We'll pop a chest down there and get stuck. Yep, that sounds about right. Right, let's get a shot of that for a moment. And try again. Pop a chest there temporarily. And without falling in, pop that there, and I haven't taken enough of these wall pieces out, so let's just get a shot of that for a moment. And crouching down, put a hopper straight into there. And oh, we're not going to be able to do that now, are we? Oh, having a disastrous day here. Right, so let's crouch on here. Yep, oh, that's still not in the right place. Try again. There we go. So let's aim that hopper down into there. That sticky piston in a moment. Actually, we'll just There you go. You'll see that. You see the mechanism there, just straight off there. So actually, we've got a bit of glass as well. Gonna put a bit of glass here. In fact, let's put glass all the way around. This is our open space here where we can kill all of our mobs as they come down, and this will allow us the space to do that. Let's just put a little bit of floor there, so we can hack away here, or we can just stand back here so they can't get us, and then this will allow us to kill them. If we want them to die as they land, we flick that switch, this inverts that little signal there, and they'll go straight into there. Now let's see, we should maybe move that one more. So let's just pop that there for the minute, grab another one of them and put that into there, because I want to block that off there just to make it safe for us. So now what we're going to do is as well, we're going to activate this spawner. I'll just pop these blocks in there so that nothing can escape. Grab that and we will put some blocks in there just so we can walk around. And we're going to go down now into the spawner and we're going to activate it. Oh, actually we're going to do that water stream as well. We'll take the risk and we'll do it after. So these blocks here that we put in temporarily, we're now going to remove those, fight against the water stream, and you see here that's all going down in here. And fingers crossed, should we test it? Yeah, go on, we'll give it a test just to make sure. So we're going down here, we get pushed, yeah, and it's now, the other bit's working as well there. And then we would get pushed over here, and we can jump out, but fingers crossed they can't. Right, so now let's hop back downstairs. Okay, so we're now back down in here. I am taking out the lights, and trying to gather these up as well as we go. Is there any more? We've got one underneath here. Ooh. Another one just there. Let's hop back up here. We're probably going to lose these ladders. Do I have an axe? Yes, I do. After all that, we actually do have an axe. I think we're just going to have to run the risk of losing these, aren't we? And take care of the last couple of blocks. Right, this is where it gets really dodgy, because we don't want to damage the spawner. I should say as well, I put in the 3 above there. Ooh. So there we go, that's sealed up. So we can see it in here. I'm going to replace this glass with blocks eventually. I just want to be able to see it working. Right, so he should have died. What's gone wrong there? Oh no, that's right, yeah. Aye, that's, I'm just confusing myself there. Oh, have I not built that in far enough? Right, let's get that fixed. There we go. So that just makes a little single drop for them. And now they should come down and just die straight away. There you go. So this is going to start producing those. Let's just close that off. We'll get rid of more of the light because we want this as dark as possible. And we should be getting bone meal. Yeah, bone meal, bones and arrows. Let's just get shot of those bones as well for the moment. But yeah, as I say, all we've got to do is just, if we want the XP, we do that. If we don't want the XP, then we just want the resources, do that. So next, we need to put our little item sorter storage area in. And I just realised I didn't bring any filter blocks with me. So we'll get the system built, and then I will nip back, because I'll also need our mending sword as well, just so we can see how much XP we can get off this. Let's actually as well, just before we do anything more, let's just hop down here so you can see this working. So this is the thing that doesn't really work in the aquatics update, is because originally mobs would just float up, but now because things like skeletons sink, we've got to have all new mechanics as well for the soul sand. So we might not actually now be close enough for the spawner to work. Oh, there we go. So there you go. everything comes down, they don't lose any health, they tap that, and then they get shot back up there. So yeah, it's been such a pain because I've been trying to get a mechanism to lift mobs up for months since the aquatic update, because that's what knackered our zombie spawner. I think I only showed you that in the first episode, because I've never been back down there again because I didn't know how to raise the mobs. But this is so far the best method that I've come across. But anyway, we're going to let that just work around in the background, and we are going to build an item sorter. And fingers crossed, I have enough space for it. Right, let's see. So everything's going to come across here. So let's just crouching down and making sure they go into that block. We just want these to come down. So that will allow items to flow across. So anything that goes over there will be stuff that will get dropped out. And I think we might just have enough space for this now. I might not need to carve any more blocks out. For the next one, let's see, we want to drop down a layer. And we will put our comparators on because it makes it easier for the hitboxes if we have our comparators down ready. So we're going to put a comparator there. And then facing into that, we're going to put our next two. And next, now I've realised that this is where I was going to run out of space, isn't it? Right, let's just clear that there, and we can always pillar up later on. Let's see, we want a box there, and a box there, and in front of that again, and put a box there as well. I don't actually have enough boxes just at the moment because I had to use some of them up. This is going to be a slightly weird configuration, it's just because of the space we've got, but I'm going to put that there, and then at a later date we're going to have the zigzags in this column here, not in this column here, just because we're running out of space. But the next one anyway is pop our hoppers going into there, and this is where we need to slightly pillar up. Yeah, we'll just pop those there like that, and that should be fine. So we're going to take out that block there, and I brought a dropper with us. And pop that there, and that's going to face down, and that is what's going to destroy the things that we don't want. But let's put next, we need another line of this, and another line here. And then we also need to get rid of this because I've put that in the wrong place. So there we go, that line should be there. And then we will grab, have I got any more torches left? Yep. Put 2 torches there, which are going to block this. And then, which way do we want these? Right, so we want that there, so I do need to carve out one more layer. We'll pop that there. And got our axe, pickaxe even. And then we just join all that redstone together there, gather up the mess. We will reopen that shaft down to the bottom later on. And this is where I'm going to develop a problem, isn't it? Because I'm not going to be able to place that other one in easily. There we go, and I will now just get a shot of that one that I placed by mistake. So yep, so that is the basics of the item sorter. So a comparator signal will be sent from there when there's sufficient items in, which will unpower this here. So we've got the repeaters in there, 4 lots of redstone, and the items that we want to sort are bones and arrows. So we will get the bones first, shall we? Actually, no, we'll do the arrows first because that's going to be where it's going to be tighter. So they're now locked in there, and bones. Put 1 bone in there. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly run back to our base and get some filter blocks. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay everybody, we're back now, and now we're going to put the filter blocks in. So you see here we have the arrow because that's what the item that we want, and here if we just take the filter blocks, what we want is 5 in each of them apart from the last one, which will be 6, and then same again, where did I put them? 5 in each of those, and then 6 in there, and that's the magic number for triggering the comparator when items come down. So the next part is going to be, because I want more bone meal than anything else, I'm going to just quickly flip this around. I did have an axe, didn't I? Or did it wear out? No, I've still got it. Let's just take that out there and swap it over one layer just for now. We will of course get some more chests in at a later date, but just for today we're going to let's pop that there so I've got something to place it on. We're just going to put them on here because really all we're after is bone meal. That's our main item to collect. So the next part now is going to be, we might as well connect that and make sure it works. And then if we aim that hopper into there, and now, actually we had that bone meal there, didn't we? We'll chuck the bone meal in here, and the arrows, and you see they're coming into there, and the arrows haven't come through yet. But if we just drop that there like that, arrows are coming into there, so that's brilliant. So now we know the item sorter works. Now we just need to get rid of the, or do the item destroyer. And this is going to be incredibly tight in here, isn't it? Well, actually, we'll best use these blocks here. Yeah, we will put it in this little zone here, even though it's going to be incredibly tight. Next we need the lava, and of course I didn't have the lava here, I kept it safe somewhere else. So now we've got the lava bucket, we're going to just place that in there, and that is going to destroy any of our items. I'm going to seal this up in a few minutes, just once we've got everything built. I'm going to have to take a little bit more of this wall out here, because I wasn't entirely sure how much space we were going to take up. So let's, actually I could probably run that across there, couldn't I? Right, hang on, let's just take our observers out, because those ones are the most awkward ones to place. So we want, yeah, an observer there will do, and we'll just build it that way. And take out those blocks, take out that one, and place that in there. So yeah, so we'll push this one across, and that'll be the one that triggers the whole system to go. Next we want to take a comparator. Yes, we've got plenty of those left. It's going to be really tight. So let's take a comparator signal out of there. Is that going to be too close? We do have another sticky piston. Come in here. And of course, oh, I can't even dig down there to get this in place. Let's just hope for the best. Yes, it worked. And if we place another one of them down, so when a comparator, oh, that could cause a bit of a weirdness. Right, well, let's dig out this hole anyway. Actually, I wonder if we could just, might be able to save on a little bit of redstone if we do that, and possibly just get away with that. Yeah, actually, yeah, we can just get rid of that. I was going to build a whole loop system round, but we actually can just get away with that. So we've got our dropper here, comparator coming out of it, and then we've got our repeater and just 2 bits of redstone. I was going to use all these extra comparators to make a little delay system, but I think that's actually going to work. Yeah, actually, yeah, we've done actually better than what I thought we were going to do. But let's just box that off a little bit. Crouch down for that one. So let's see if we just put something that we don't care about in. What can we get rid of from this? Something that we don't need. I suppose we can just put some of these filter blocks in, can't we? Yep, and that there is what you heard there. That was them getting destroyed. So yeah, that actually works brilliantly. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think we're done. Let's see. So we've got bones that are building up in there, and if I hop over to here, we've got arrows that are building up in there. We can sort of almost get back downstairs if I just take out these couple of blocks. Yep, so we don't need those filter blocks anymore, so I can just fill in that gap. And then we can get down here if we need to, which I really don't think we will need to. It's just for the observation of seeing the system that actually works, that actually does push mobs up to the top. I'll put some steps in here at a later date and tidy it up a little bit. But I think that is actually it. At the minute we can just use these to get up here. And let's go over here and see. So you can see them coming down. I tell you what, let's get our sword out. Whilst I was in the base, I picked up our looting and mending sword. So at the moment, what are we on? Actually, let's get something to eat. So you can see the skeletons are coming in there. Let's watch for them shooting up. You can hear some more forming in the background. Yep, there they go. And let's get the XP. So we'll flick that over to there, and this time they shouldn't die. Yep, and they are one hit away. So yeah, this is going to work brilliantly. And we don't have to be right up to them as well, so we can stand here, which is out of the way. We will get rid of all these torches. I might replace these with redstone torches just so it gives that nice glow, and hopefully it won't affect, although actually it won't matter. Once I seal this off, it won't matter at all what goes on in here, will it? Oh, someone getting caught there. Yeah, I think this is going to work out brilliantly, this. So there we go, and you can see there in the background there are items being chucked out of the system and being destroyed. We are still getting plenty. Can't stand on the chest, can I? So yep, so we've got the bone meals coming in, we've got our mending sword, lots of arrows coming in, even though we don't use a bow at all. So yeah, this is going to work out really, really well. I can just AFK here as well, just flick that, because I don't necessarily need the XP. But if we just flick that switch there, yeah, that's it done. So this is our skeleton spawner. So we've got our blaze spawner where we can get XP, or we can come over here. Our members in this room have to put a nether portal just so we can get over here really, really quickly, because it's a little bit of a height across the water. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. As I've been waiting to build this for ages, but it wasn't until yesterday I figured out a method down here of pushing the mobs up a water stream. I haven't yet. I might actually do an individual video on this because I haven't seen a video for this anywhere. So maybe just do it on a blank world, just so you can actually. I'll do it all out of glass so you can see it all working. But there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. So don't forget to rate, comment, favourite, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.